Basically, we hired before from the basic OFM groups on Telegram. And yeah, just did some shout outs there. And a few people were tech messaging us. And yeah, first thing is we didn't have a big pool of people there. So we just hired the ones that fucking messaged us. And at the end, after 1 and 2 months, all gone because the output wasn't really what we were looking for. And so yeah, first thing would be hiring general, then how you train them, how you like choose one out of a pool from VAs that want to work with you, and also like tools for because they only did the content for us. We work with AI a lot. What tools can we give them to really also do the posting without like us having the risk of taking our account or something?
Got you. Very good question. And I mean, to break it down, I'll get to the tools in a sec, but you got three problems, and one is volume, one is filtering, and one is training, right? So the first, like you already said, just kind of so we're on the same page, is you need to get the maximum amount of people that apply for the position, and we're talking hundreds of people minimum, right? So I can tell you the numbers that we have for VAs, which is for every VA that we sign, I'll just, if it's cool, I'll use the Cheddar example because Cheddars, everyone understands Cheddars, right? And it's the same for social media posting, it's the same for posting on Reddit. So for every Cheddar that we hire, we need at least 40 applicants. So we take 1 out of 40 Cheddars in the Philippines, and that means if we want to have one creator completely filled 24 hours, we need to have at least 150 applicants, more or less, right? So first of all, how do we fix the volume? Second of all, out of all those people, how do we make sure you don't end up with the time wasters, right? How do you end up with the people that are not going to listen, they're not going to do the work, they're going to lie to you, they're going to not be fully invested, aka their work is just always going to be average, you're not going to go the full mile, right? Like super motivated. And how do you make sure they stay over longer times and they're loyal and they're not just trying to cover rent for a month and then go back to their 9 to 5. Now, for the first thing, the volume, obviously you've seen it in the video when you said you were hiring from Telegram groups. I had a physical shock around my entire body and I had cold sweat like on my shoulders, which I just wanted to have you know you did that to me right now. So for the next 2 years, we're never touching Telegram groups again. This is the bottom of the bottom tier. And people who are in Telegram groups, they're used up, they have a big ego problems, and there's a reason they haven't been hired anywhere else. That's like the club at 6 a.m., you know, like who haven't been home to that degree, you know why. So what you want to go for, ideally, if you want to hear my opinion on that, you want to go for people that never worked in VA position before in that area. Because people who've been posting on Reddit, have been posting for other OF agencies, there's 3 possible outcomes. The first one is they think they know it better than you because they have so much experience and they're not going to follow what you're telling them. Like if you've been boxing for 5 years and someone who's been boxing for 2 years comes to you and tells you, hey, you need to throw the jab like that, do you do it? No, because like you feel like you know more, even if the person may be a world champion. Now, second outcome, if you hire people from Telegram, just for the other people in the call, is that they have some bad trait that makes them unhireable. And this is why they're in a Telegram group. And you will have a very short time until you find out why. And you waste a lot of time and money on hiring the wrong person. Because also, again, for everyone here in the call, hiring the wrong VA doesn't mean necessarily that, oh, you wasted a month's salary or something like that. It means you wasted time and money hiring them, because how much is your hour worth? If you're making 50 grand per month, you work 10 hours a day, you can calculate your hourly rate. So every single hour you spend hiring them, training them, giving them feedback is money that you lose. Plus all the mistakes they do cost you money again. Every account they get banned, every sub that they don't get and the competition gets is money left on the table. Plus obviously the salary and hiring the new person. So it's a pretty expensive thing. Now, the third outcome, if you hire people from Telegram, is they're actually a good fit. And that is the most unlikely. So this is why we don't do it, right? Now, we fix the volume by onlinejobs.ph, donor jobs, and OFM jobs, right? That's your top 3 sites. And they're all pretty much similar. I think they're all doing a great job. Post a job hiring post on all of these 3 sites. And if we post a hiring job on onlinejobs.ph, just one site, if we post it by afternoon, after lunch, in the evening, we have like 150, 200 applicants. So you will fix the volume issue, getting the biggest cap of applicants so you can pick the best one, because the best VA out of 100 is a million times better than the best VA out of 10. You just increase your odds. Cool. Now, for the filtering, I have a PDF on that, but just to kind of break it down again, I can describe it for the chatter example. You can find the same KPIs and skill sets you need for this specific position, but you wanna, the usual filtering when you hire people is essentially testing the idiots, testing the motivated guys, and then testing the qualifications, and then it's gut feeling. Meaning, first of all, you're gonna run them through a test where it's literally just an IQ question. Hey, what's your time zone right now? Right? You just ask them that. Send me your time zone and this specific emoji. If they tell you, it's 5 a.m. for me, and they don't send the emoji, you know they're literally too stupid to follow instructions. Like, that makes sense. But they're gonna say Philippine time zone, or I don't know, EST, CET, whatever it is, right? They're gonna send you the emoji. You know they can read basic instructions and they're actually caring about applying to you. They're not just sending random applications. Cool. Now, once you did that, and you may even put a second test if you really wanna be careful, which I recommend in the Philippines. So now you put another idiot test saying, okay, send me a few sentences about if you're a team player or like how you work in a team, which you don't care about the answers, you just care about the effort. So now we're going into the motivational stage. How much effort are they putting into the application? Because some people are going to say, oh yeah, I'm a great team player. Which, do you know if it's true? You don't care, but they type like fucking 6 words. You know they are not putting the effort in to work with you. But some people are going to write a longer paragraph. I think I'm a good team player. I've been a coach of that. Okay, they are able to put effort into this position. They are motivated. And this is, again, where you filter out a lot of the applicants. And then you can get into the qualifications, meaning from here on, you have smart enough people that are able to put an effort into the position. And now you can put them in chatting positions, right? English test, typing speed test. If you're in chatting, you can have like an emotional awareness type of test where you can see how do they react to certain situations. If it's about social media posting, you can kind of test their technical adversity. For example, let them screen share, log into, I'm just making this up right now, right? Let them log into a complicated website, see how they figure this out with your instructions. Send them a PDF, let them read through it for 5 minutes. This is how the website works. And then just watch them figure out their way on a new website, because you're going to see how technically adverse are they. If I let my grandma do this, she's probably going to rage quit after 2 minutes. But if I get an 18-year-old kid who's been like gaming his entire life on it, he's going to take 10 minutes and he understands the site. He understands what he needs to do. So you get what technical adversity means here. And from then on, there's maybe going to be 5 or 10 people left where you really see the potential. Have one-on-one calls with them, and your gut feeling will tell you the rest, as dumb as it sounds, right? For every single hire I did, if you listen to your gut feeling, assuming everything else has been met, you're going to pick the right person, right? Because you know how to spot a bullshitter. So this is how you find the right people. And just as a summary before we get to the tools, that means staying away from Telegram, no more, okay? Second of all, filter out the idiots, filter out the demotivated ones, and filter out the ones that don't have the qualifications. And then you have a pool of a lot of people. Now you have the best ones, and now you can just personally decide. Maybe hop on a call with them if it's important. Otherwise, just have a little text interview with them. But that's literally how you do it. And one last thing I'm going to mention, because I really want to give the longest possible answer. They are going to cheat in those tests, and that's okay. All right? I assume people are cheating on those tests. I assume they're having ChatGPT open. The only thing you want to look for is, are they smart enough to cheat on those tests, or are they literally too stupid to cheat? Because if I hire someone and I'm kind of like the Dokes meme from Dexter, I know he's been using AI, but I can't prove it. I don't know about you guys, but that's the exact person I want to work with. You know what I mean? So if people are cheating, but you have no clue of telling, that's perfect. That's the entrepreneurial spirit that you want to bring in. But if there's like M dashes and like no fluff, no fillers, pure qualification on my side, then you know, okay, this guy just copy pasted, like he doesn't have the framework to get it done. Now, in terms of the tools that you want to use, it depends. But like, which platform are we talking about specifically? Assumably Instagram or Reddit, or which platform? Can you maybe clarify?
Yeah, so in general, it would be Instagram, but also like for the future, like X, Reddit, like would be, for the moment, we just use Instagram, but we want to start X as well.
Got you. Okay, so I will start this by saying I can't recommend using remote phone access for social media, because that's like, listen, you run OF chatting, right? So what's the number one thing you are trying to get rid of in the chatting? It is people who buy a bunch of content and then charge back, right? That's the number one thing that's annoying us the most, and that's hurting your account the most, and overall your entire agency, right? If you have above 1% chargeback rate, you have a problem. Now imagine Instagram looks at you like the Eye of Sauron, or Reddit or X, right? And this is the thing they want to fix. VAs with remote phone access just spamming on the platform. This is their main enemy. So it's kind of like we're both on the same team with the social media companies, meaning I cannot recommend to do that. Ideally, if you trust your employees enough, either you give them a device and they're the only one logging in, or there's people using Ali Remote, which is a service. I've seen a lot of friends of mine use that and it worked well for the circumstances, but I personally don't trust it because, well, it's Romanian. So like you are gonna put accounts at risk. If you have a big ass Reddit account that's putting in a lot of subs, or a big X account, big IG account, I would strongly recommend to stay away from that. But if you have a lot of small accounts that you don't care about, Ali Remote will probably be the best one.